Imagine a secret video, the kind of thing you see in a spy movie, except this isn't a movie, it's real life. And on that video, a high-ranking official is allegedly caught in the act. Now, imagine that video is buried, the case is killed, and the people who knew about it walk away. What would you call that? Hey everyone, and welcome back. What we just described isn't a fictional plot. It's the explosive core of a story that has been bubbling just beneath the surface of American politics, a story that raises fundamental questions about who we trust, who holds power, and whether the system is truly fair. Today, we're diving deep into a claim so serious, so specific, it's hard to believe it's not front-page news every single day. The claim is that the FBI caught a powerful, well-connected political figure on camera taking bribes, and that the case was then shut down by the very same administration the person was about to join. The names at the center of this firestorm: Tom Homan, Bondi, and Kash Patel. And the questions being asked aren't just about what happened, but why it happened, and what it means for every single one of us. This is a story about the justice system, about political loyalty, and about the thin, fragile line between public service and personal gain. And it's a story that, no matter your political affiliation, should make you sit up and pay attention. Part 1. The cast of characters. To understand this, we have to first meet the people at the heart of the story. Think of this as the opening scene of a political drama. First, we have Tom Homan. For many, he's a familiar face. A career law enforcement officer, a former acting director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, during the previous administration. Homan is known for his firm stance on immigration and for being a vocal and loyal supporter of Donald Trump. After leaving his post at ICE, he became a public voice and consultant on border security, a role that kept him squarely in the public and political eye. To his supporters, he's a no-nonsense patriot who understands the border like no one else. To his critics, he's a symbol of a hardline approach to immigration they find troubling. Next, we have Bondi, a well-known political figure, former Attorney General of Florida. She's a lawyer with a high public profile who has served in key advisory roles for Donald Trump. Bondi has a reputation as a fierce political fighter and has been a central figure in Trump's political and legal circles for years. Her role as a top legal advisor places her squarely in the conversation whenever questions of the Department of Justice are raised. And finally, we have Kash Patel, another key figure in the previous administration. Patel worked in various high-level national security roles and was deeply involved in politically sensitive investigations. He's known for being a staunch Trump ally and a vocal critic of the FBI's leadership under previous administrations. He now serves as the FBI director, a position that puts him in charge of the very agency at the center of this alleged investigation. So you have these three individuals, a former top cop, a high-profile lawyer, and a senior national security official. All of them are deeply connected to a single political movement and a single political leader, and they are now all tied to a single, explosive set of allegations. Part 2. The core allegations. Okay, so what are the claims? This is where the story gets really detailed, and where we have to be very careful to separate what has been alleged from what has been confirmed. The claims come from an exclusive report by MSNBC, which cites sources and internal documents. According to the report, a bombshell investigation was underway. The investigation, which began under the previous administration, was a classic undercover sting operation. The premise: undercover FBI agents posing as business contractors were trying to land government contracts. According to the reporting, they were put in contact with Tom Homan, who, at the time, was a private citizen but was known to be a key advisor and a potential appointee in a future administration. The key moment of the operation, according to the sources, was an in-person meeting in Texas. It's here, the report claims, that the undercover agents recorded Homan on video accepting a bag containing $50,000 in cash. The context of the payment was allegedly a discussion where Homan indicated he could help the agents secure contracts in the future, once he was in a position of power in a new administration. Now a crucial legal point. At the time of the alleged exchange, Homan was a private citizen. Bribery laws are often structured around actions taken by public officials. This is a critical nuance that Homan's allies have pointed to. But the investigation, according to the report, was not a simple open and shut case. The FBI and Justice Department, under the previous administration, were reportedly planning to monitor Homan once he took an official role to see if he would follow through on his alleged promises, which would then form the basis of a solid, official bribery charge. And this is where the second, and arguably more shocking, part of the story begins. Part 3, the case is killed. The reports state that after the election, and as the new administration took office, the investigation against Tom Homan was abruptly shut down. According to sources cited by MSNBC, the case was closed after the new leadership, including, it is alleged, the new FBI Director Kash Patel and new Attorney General Bondi, reviewed the matter and decided not to proceed. This is the central allegation of corruption, that a case with what some officials considered to be a solid criminal case was terminated not because of a lack of evidence, but because of political loyalty. The prompt for this video script, and many critics of the administration, describe this as corruption, plain and simple. The accusation is that these top officials, who are political allies of Homan and the administration, chose to protect a member of their political team rather than pursuing justice. It suggests a system where the rule of law can be bent or broken for those with the right connections. But what do the other side of this story say? It's crucial to hear their perspective. Part 4, the official response. The administration and the people involved have not remained silent. They've pushed back hard against these claims, calling them politically motivated and baseless. In a joint statement, FBI Director Kash Patel and the Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche, stated that the matter had been subjected to a full review by FBI agents and Justice Department prosecutors. They found no credible evidence of any criminal wrongdoing. They emphasized that the investigation was a holdover from the previous administration and that their review found it to be without merit. Homan himself has forcefully denied the allegations, calling them BS. He has stated that the accusations are false and that he has never been involved in any kind of illegal activity related to contracts or payments. White House officials have also echoed this sentiment, arguing that the entire probe was a blatantly political investigation targeting an ally. So you have two starkly different narratives. On one side, you have sources and lawmakers alleging a clear-cut case of bribery and a political cover-up. On the other, you have the administration and its allies claiming that the investigation was a political hit job from the start, a deep state probe designed to undermine them, and that it was correctly and professionally closed because there was no evidence of a crime. This isn't just a disagreement over facts, it's a clash of worldviews. Part 5. Historical context and current relevance. This isn't the first time we've seen this kind of controversy, and it certainly won't be the last. Throughout American history, the Department of Justice and the FBI have been at the center of political storms. The struggle to maintain the independence of law enforcement from political influence is a constant and often messy battle. Think about the Watergate scandal. It was about political corruption and the abuse of power at the highest levels. The firing of the special prosecutor, Archibald Cox, was a pivotal moment that highlighted the conflict between the president's authority and the independence of the justice system. More recently, we saw the controversies surrounding the investigations into the previous administration, with accusations of political bias from both sides. The weaponization of the DOJ and FBI has become a common talking point, a powerful accusation that suggests our most important institutions are no longer impartial. This is the relevant context for the Homan case. It's not an isolated incident. It is part of a much larger, ongoing debate about the politicization of the justice system. When one side says, "This is corruption," and the other says, "This is a political witch hunt," the American public is left in the middle, trying to figure out who to believe. Part 6. Impact on Ordinary Americans. So why does this matter to you and me? Why should we care about this specific case with these specific, high-profile people? Because it's not just about them. It's about the very foundation of our democracy. When a citizen believes that the justice system is not a blind arbiter of truth, but rather a tool to be used by those in power, it erodes trust. It makes us cynical. It makes us question whether anyone is truly held accountable. If a powerful person can allegedly be caught on camera committing a crime and then have the case disappear, what does that say about the system? This story speaks to the fear that there are two sets of laws in America, one for the well-connected and one for everyone else. If a regular person took $50,000 in cash in exchange for a promise to help a business, what would happen to them? They would likely be arrested, charged, and prosecuted. The question at the heart of the Homan case is whether that same standard applies to someone with powerful political connections. The call from some lawmakers to release the tapes and have Congress investigate isn't just a political stunt. It's a demand for transparency and accountability. It's a demand to see the evidence and to understand the decision-making process. Because if the public can't see why a case was dropped, they are left to fill in the blanks. And in our hyper-partisan environment, those blanks are almost always filled with suspicion and distrust. It reinforces the idea that who you know matters more than what you do. And that is a dangerous, corrosive idea for any republic. Conclusion: the unanswered questions. At the end of the day, a number of questions remain. We don't have all the facts. We have conflicting narratives, with one side citing internal documents and sources, and the other side citing a formal review that cleared the individual of wrongdoing. The central point is this: allegations of this magnitude, allegations of bribery and a subsequent cover-up, deserve to be addressed with full transparency. Whether the claims are true or not, the public has a right to know the full story. The American people deserve to know why a highly publicized, documented FBI investigation was dropped. Is this an example of a corrupt justice system protecting its own? Or is it a case of a politically motivated investigation being properly shut down? The answer lies in the facts, and those facts remain largely hidden from public view. This story, like so many others today, forces us to confront a difficult reality. The line between political loyalty and public duty has never been more blurred, and the fight to protect that line, to ensure that no one is above the law, is perhaps the most important battle we face. What do you think? Is this a clear case of corruption or a baseless political attack? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this video insightful and want more deep dives into the stories that matter, please consider giving this video a like, sharing it with a friend, and subscribing to the channel. Your support helps us keep telling these stories. Thank you for watching.